just bleep it out when I say it, because I don't want other people finding it, because it just sucks so hard.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Listography. This is the final video for which we will be using the Listography name. After this, if you're not watching this the day it comes out, the channel is now known as Taste Like Music. Sorry if there's some confusion between the thumbnail and the title, but whatever. In a couple months, it'll all seem normal. So we're skipping 1985. We've been going along from 1958. We got to 84 last week, taking a week off to jump ahead to the present. I think this episode is going to be an interesting glimpse into the future of the series and what things might be like when we get to the aughts and the 20-teens and the 2020s. Big difference from going through all these years in the 70s and 80s to getting to this year's Billboard charts. It's almost unrecognizable, and even the way it operates seems entirely different, with like entire albums worth of tracks charting the same week. It's just really kind of seems like a free-for-all, and I gotta say, I've never felt older in my life than looking at it this week.
I thought someone was pulling a prank on me, like a hidden camera show, when I first looked at what the charting songs were. This is so bad. Guys, it's just so bad. I mean, not just, it leans more towards hip hop and stuff that isn't our cup of tea, but even those ones are just so bad at times. And like you said, it's literally like 11 artists and like 7 songs from each album. And they've all been on the list for like 2.5 years, it seems like. Like Blinding Lights by The Weeknd is still like top 5. It has been for a long ass time. It's not good. And then if you look right now, it's mostly Christmas stuff too. Like I think Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas is like 3rd in the country right now. Like, come on, what?
I kind of see now why a lot of older people turn to like country and stuff. Like, I mean, you try and listen to the radio these days and it's just horrifying, like literally. And I'm a proponent even a couple of years ago of still liking some like Billboard songs and some rap and R&B, and like it is just so awful. I mean, Levitating was the ¡1 top 100 Billboard 100 of this year. It came out 2 years ago. Like it's still there because, yeah, I think it dropped. Well, at this point, it was like early 2020. So it's been almost 2 years. It's been on the charts forever, and like there's just nothing to replace it because everything else sucks. So, and I mean, it's a good song, but like, how about something new and fresh? Anything.
A couple quick notes. We are sticking to the format that we've been using. It's 5 tracks from the Billboard Hot 100 that could have charted at any point during the year. 5 more tracks that are wildcards, could be also charting, although I doubt it, in 2021. Or it could be deep cuts, B-sides, album tracks that didn't chart, anything at all. And then we have the difficult task of choosing our least favorite top 40 song of the year. The last thing I want to mention is that we are recording this before our albums of the year video, which you will have already seen by the time this comes out. So we may be kind of tight-lipped about, especially on our wildcard list, if those tracks come from albums on our albums of the year. We're probably not going to say anything about it in this video, just to keep the surprise for ourselves. Who wants to kick it off?
Why don't you?
I thought going into this that there would be more to choose from. I didn't expect like a lot of the music that I like to be hitting #1, but I figured some of the singles from bands that I like would be at least cracking the Hot 100, but not really at all. But here's what I came up with. I've got Your Power by Billie Eilish. I think Billie and Phineas are at the height of their powers now. They're They show so much maturity and restraint on this track. It's a really gorgeous tune. Shows Billy's amazing control vocally, and the little acoustic guitar line is really simple but pretty, and a good hook. After that, I've got Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo. This is the one that sounds like Paramore, but I will take this track over Paramore's any day. Very catchy, great energy, great production. And I really like how in the verses, you can very clearly draw a line from her to Lorde. I think a lot of what she's doing vocally and in the backing vocals really takes a page from Lorde's playbook. Then I've got Take My Breath by The Weeknd. I think The Weeknd's kind of just crushing it. His update of 80s pop is on the money. He's really bringing it into the present, but he's got really good big hooks. They truly feel like songs that could have been written back then. I love his voice. I mean, he is a huge star. He played the Super Bowl and stuff, but honestly, he should probably be even bigger, especially when you look at all the other stuff on the charts right now. It's just so much better than most everything else. Next, I've got I Am Not a Woman, I'm a God by Halsey. I don't love Halsey. I really didn't like her previous stuff. I don't think she's got a great voice, but she did have Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross produce her new record. And I think the production is pretty interesting on it. I think they do a good job of making Halsey more interesting. So a pretty cool pop production for this year. And then my last one, I've got the opening track from the new Adele album, Strangers by Nature. Easily my favorite from that record. Gorgeous melody. I love the chord progression. Really cinematic string arrangement on it. It sounds like old Hollywood or something. It's very classy. Wish more artists were doing something like this. I wish it didn't feel so much like a throwback. I wish that this was more of what was contemporary and what was happening, because a lot of what's on the charts is no bueno, but there you go.
All right, so the Billboard charts. You know, I really should like The Weeknd. I don't. I think he stinks. On my list, I don't know why. He's just something about him. Just do not buy it. Anyway, Jason and I do share one, but not quite yet. Number 5 for me, I'm going to go with a little country number called Next Girl by Carly Pearce. Sounds a lot like all the other kind of female country singers, but it's very catchy, and I'll take a decent kind of fun country song over most of the crap on the radio. Speaking of, I got another country song at number 4 and 3, actually. Number 4, Eric Church, Heart on Fire. I think his Heart album, it was a double album, Heart and Soul, was pretty good. There's some cool stuff on there, a little Springsteen-y. His voice maybe takes a little getting used to. It's kind of like high and I don't know, it's like babyish almost, but he's got like a country kind of like, I don't even know, I can't do it, but it's a good song and a pretty good album. Probably my favorite country album of the year. Number 3, I got a leftover from Chris Stapleton that was released this year. You Should Probably Leave. And I will take Chris Stapleton over almost anyone right now, especially people on the Billboard charts. I think he's a very good country artist. And I do like that the establishment has kind of embraced him because he's as far from like pop country as it gets. Great guitar player as well. Number 2, I'm sharing with Jason, I'm Not a Woman, I'm a God from Halsey. I love the production. I was kind of disappointed with that album. Spoiler alert, it's not in my top 10. Just because I wanted a little bit more like this song, because the production on this one is freaking awesome. Like, it sounds like The Social Network, which I love. Number 1 though, and I guess I could have taken 3 songs from them because 3 of them charted, and I think they're all the best. But Smoking Out the Window by Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak collaboration. And they had 3 songs that charted: Smoking Out the Window, Leave the Door Open, and Skate. Leave the Door Open went to number 1, so at least something good this year went to number 1. just, it's not the most original thing in the world, but the care that they take and like bringing in like even like the cymbal sounds and everything, like straight out like a Delphonics record basically, and it sounds fantastic. And Bruno Mars is kind of hit or miss for me, but I really like Anderson .Paak a lot, and I wish he actually took more control. Even I'd rather just have him basically on the record, but it's my number one for the Billboard, and I mean, it wouldn't make my top 5 on my normal list, but it wouldn't be too far away as well. So there was at least one shining thing to grab onto for me this year on the Billboard charts.
All right. I have little to no enthusiasm about the charts whatsoever. My favorite songs that charted this year also charted last year. And like those are songs that I legit really like Blinding Lights, Levitating, Heat Wave by Glass Animals. All of them charted in 20 first, so can't use them. But I'm going to stick with Dua Lipa because that album did make my top 10 albums of last year, and it's a fantastic album. This song is Love Again, not even one of my favorite songs on the album, but most of them charted last year. So I'll stick with this one. It's got a sample of the old 30s My Woman. Great bass, upbeat, clean, disco-y fun. She's just got like the perfect balance of everything on this record, and it really works for me. I'm going to throw out a couple from Olivia Rodrigo's masterful big pop sensation hit Sour. I've got Driver's License, which is the really mellow, pretty song about breaking up, about, you know, if she finally gets her driver's license and they're already broken up by the time she gets her driver's license, and she's driving around the suburbs thinking maybe she'll see what's his name or whatever, but he's probably with that blonde girl. I do like how she's like 17 or 18 when she wrote all these, and she doesn't pretend to be a day older. That's the kind of the charm of this album, is she is just like boldly innocent and naive about stuff and just hard on the sleeve, and it really works. Also in the song Traitor, which is an even prettier song. It's got tremendous harmony at the beginning. And it's a really cool song about the technicality of cheating, where it's all about like, yeah, you waited till we were broken up, but you were catching feelings for someone else and talking to someone else while we were together, blah, 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 blah. It's a pretty good song. I'm also going to go with Pick Up Your Feelings by Jasmine Sullivan from Hotels, which is a pretty decent album. Really tight, fierce beat. I like her voice. I love her rhythm. She often just kind of like spits during the verses and then just does a really big bellow during the chorus, and it works really well. And then finally, I'm going to go with Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish. I love the soft parts of this song when she really sounds like younger Feist, really delicate with just like a little bit of a soft guitar, maybe even a nylon guitar. But when this song gets really loud, it's like really epic and heroic and awesome when it's loud. Just a good, really good album. I think that album's great. We reviewed it on Instagram, so if you don't have Instagram, it's time to get it, because then you would know what all of us think about Billie Eilish's album. But alas, you've missed out otherwise. But those are my 5 charters. If we were ignoring the charts, none of these would even sniff my top 200 probably. So
Glad that's over with. Onto the wild cards. Strangely, I've got a song that I expected to have charted, but it didn't. It was, I think it was on Modern Rock Track or something like that. I've got Fallen Fruit by Lorde. Definitely my favorite track on the Lorde record. Great harmonies with Phoebe Bridgers and Clairo. I think the harmonizing on it is excellent. And I really like Jack Antonoff's production on this whole record. I think it's pretty good.
I can't believe a Lorde song is in your deep cuts. That's losing my mind right now.
This is way worse than Thompson Twins. Way worse.
I'm just going to go out with a bang, you know. Next up, I've got First Time by Nordista Freeze. great slice of 60s pop. But there are clues that it's not a track from the 60s. He uses words like stoked, I'm so stoked you're mine, in the lyrics. So it gives it like this modern feel with the jangly guitars and the glockenspiel. And the harmonies on this song are so good, so infectious. They're singing in a round. And I don't know if I can really even tell how many people are singing. It sounds like a huge chorus, and they're harmonizing, and it's just so joyous. Next, after that, I've got Like I Used To by Sharon Van Etten and Angel Olsen. Just an epic collaboration, two of the greatest female singer-songwriters of the past decade. And when that sort of thing happens, generally it is disappointing, and this song totally lives up to the billing. I think it's just as good as you would expect. Then I've got Jimmy and Stan by Strand of Oaks. Strand of Oaks have kind of started doing this more like heartland rock type of thing, very much in the vein of the War on Drugs. But I really love the concept of this song. It's a song about his dead cat, Stan, and it's him imagining his cat up in heaven with Jimi Hendrix going to concerts and stuff. It's a really sweet, sort of funny, touching tale. And my winner is obviously a wild card, so we will be getting to that later.
All right. Well, I hope you guys like women, because that's who's dominating my top 5. 4 female singers. My number 5, I'm going to go with one. I've never really connected with her in the past, but I really love this song. I'm going to do Broken Horses from Brandi Carlile. She has such a good voice, and maybe I just like missed it on her past albums. On this one, she sounds like Bonnie Raitt playing with like Elton John's band or something. Like, she sounds so fierce. She's just belting it out. Great production from Shooter Jennings. And it's just a really great rock song, man. Probably the best, a little country tinge to it, a little, even like Alison Krauss sometimes I get on that album. And she just nails it. Number 4, an artist that I'm sure only I have, Alison Russell. And I'm going to go with Persephone. Really love this song. Really great pedal steel on here. A really personal, it's the most personal song you will hear all year. Kind of different kind of love story, but really just got to listen to it because the lyrics are great. The music is great. And that whole album is pretty spectacular. Number 3, let's get a man. Let's get some metal. I'm going to go with Gigantium from Mastodon. Just an epic ending to double album, just a massive amount of Mastodon, and this one just totally kind of changes it up halfway through. It's kind of like, okay, that's a really powerful, strong Mastodon jam, and then it gets like melodic. There's like strings, and like just transforms with like the best guitar solos you will hear all year. Just really musical sounding, not quite so heavy, and I don't know, maybe it points to the future of where they're going to go or something, but especially after like 2 full discs of Mastodon, it's really cool to have this like completely different experience on the very last track. My number 2, gotta go with this one. I think it was definitely on my middle year list for best songs. I think it was, I don't know if I ranked them then, but it was near the top anyway. I got Safe from Heartbreak from Wolf Alice. Who Needs Drums? It's pretty much just like dude playing resonator guitar, 3/4 time, maybe 6/8 time, but it's got that waltz beat to it. And then Ellie Roswell's vocals just layered on top of each other, swirled in reverb. A little bass comes in and then ends in just her a cappella. And it's such a cool song, and it's even better in like the context of the album, which I love. Spoiler alert on that. Great album. very sort of like all over the place, a lot of different genres and sounds. And this one, when it comes in on the album, just like a breath of fresh air to wash away what came before it. Just think it's great. But it's gonna be my runner up to my winner. So great song though. Great, lot of great songs. I had to leave off a ton. I'm gonna do one shout out. I had to do one honorable mention, just one, to our friend of the channel, Sam Outlaw, Popular Mechanics. I wanted to get it on here. I think it was a great song, really fun, but just miss. It'll be on my longer list that I'll release later, but throw it out there.
Wild card time for me. I also have a Wolf Alice track, so I'm with Joe there, but I've got The Last Man on the Earth. It's got a really just tremendous build, and it's a build you don't see coming. It's really cool. It's kind of this just really pretty gazing at the stars kind of piano ballad, and it goes through an entire round of verse and chorus, and then it starts the verse again, and it seems like it's just going to be the same old thing, and then you get this big build up within seconds, and it just explodes into this just amazing supernova of feelings. It's really tremendously done. And then I've got a track from He Who Shall Not Be Named Anymore, but I gotta say the name. I've got Ryan Adams with Fuck the Rain. Fuck Ryan Adams in many ways, but we're not here to judge people's souls and behavior, just unfortunately the music they put out. And Fuck the Rain is really good. It has John Mayer on guitar. It is a really good example of using space and time within a song. It's got a really nice, steady, big beat, and the guitars come in and do these quick little licks, and everything is just like there's multiple guitars doing like very closely related things to one another, and it just creates this really good soundscape and then kind of disappears and then comes back. It's a really cool song. There's a really cool line he has where he says, "Flowers for brains and permanent sunshine." It's very cool. And I'm going to go with Ray Street, the leadoff track from Courtney Barnett's album. It's awesome. Very obvious, serious, her boy Kurt Vile kind of vibes, that lazy, slacker disposition. But it's also very expressive and communicative and wrapped in like this really poignant kind of style. I love the melody in the chorus where it goes up to "Time is money and money is no man's friend." It's very awesome. Great track. And then I've got what would have been my winner for the entire year. I think it is a pop sensation. I can't believe, like, if this song can't chart, it's unbelievable to me. I've got Be Sweet by Japanese Breakfast. It's awesome. It is just one of the catchiest, most fun, almost, it's not an 80s song, but it's got that 80s lively production that's very popular right now, and it works. It's got the best chorus probably of any pop song I've heard in the last few years. It's awesome, and it just goes to show you where the Billboard's at, where it's really just a collection of cool kids at the cafeteria table. It's like the same 15 people collaborating with one another, blah, 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 featuring blah, 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 featuring blah, blah, blah. And Japanese Breakfast, Jay Brecky, not part of that social club, so didn't make the charts as far as I know, and it should have. It's it's like what a pop song should be, in my opinion.
All right. The worst of the year, no shortage of songs to choose from. I said in our text that there was probably 100 plus legit contenders. And then I found one that stood out among them all. I've got Am I the Only One by Aaron Lewis, the former frontman of Stained. If you don't know, he has had a second career, I guess, as a country singer. And the song is just the worst thing that I can imagine anybody doing. It is horrible. We do a pretty solid job, I think, on the channel of kind of staying away from politics and just like talking about music and keeping things civil in the comments and everything like that. But honestly, if you like this song, you can just get the hell right out of here and unsubscribe and, whatever. See ya. the song is not anything that anyone should be listening to. It's absolute the worst of the worst.
Can you elaborate more?
Oh, he's real upset about, statues being taken down, and he's upset about Bruce Springsteen being a liberal. It's just so bad.
Well, at least he did not blame it on his father this time. Actually, he didn't last time, so good for him.
That is a good pick, Jason, but I feel like you missed by
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually not even gonna pick it because like it's like when we would pick in the 60s like the commercials or something that would it's not even worth talking about. In fact, I wish just bleep it out when I say it because I don't want other people finding it because it just sucks so hard. I'm gonna go with a guy I really hate. I think he's terrible, and I think this song is just so embarrassing. I'm going to do Bad Habits by Ed Sheeran, just simply because it's so like pathetic that he like tries to be hard for like 2 minutes, as if anyone could possibly believe this dude is like up at like past midnight or past like 10 p.m. really. Like he's just such a loser. I hate his music. I mean, musically, this isn't the worst track of the year, but he like just him trying this and like he's got like that fake vampire looking video or whatever. Like, dude, you're trying so hard and it's just not working. Although I guess it is working because it's charting like all over the place. So I guess he's winning again, that Ed Sheeran, but I just wish people would just stop with him because like I can handle like the really like twee kind of like cutesy wedding ballads because like that's who he is, but man, this is just a bad direction from Mr. Sheeran.
Yeah, the cutesy, sappy wedding ballads are very much who he is. And I hate it. I'm going with Shivers by Ed Sheeran. I dislike this guy probably more than any other artist right now. He takes everything like 15, 20 years ago, that douchey, overly sentimental acoustic college rock kind of guy sound, but then tries to put in all these big like pop sounds and pop ideas. And it is just a big old mess. Nothing about it is creative or cool or stylish. I took an arrow to the heart. I never kissed a mouth that tastes like yours. Strawberries and something more. It's so bad and so just like whiny and crybaby pathetic. Like he acts like anyone could just walk up to him and and he would just fall apart. Like the world and love is just so much for this guy. I can't take it. And like, why is he even playing acoustic guitar every time I see him? You can't hear acoustic guitar on anything. Like, it's like someone presses play of his song behind him and he's just sitting there. He doesn't even play it. He just like holds and mutes a chord like he needs to keep time with his hand, and there's no acoustic sound coming off him at all. I have no idea what Ed Sheeran sounds like as a guitarist. He's always holding one, but I have no idea what it is. And this song is just really bad. I hate it. And that's it. I'm done.
He's like an American Idol contestant that like brings up the guitar and like plays one chord and then like just stops because the music's looping and the band behind him is playing.
My favorite song of 2021 is Montreal by Alison Russell, a song that I think really defies categorization. I guess technically she's a country artist. I've seen her appear on like best country albums of the year lists. But this song in particular is the furthest from country of any track on her record. It opens the record and I don't know, it kind of set me up. I had never heard Alison Russell before listening to this record earlier in the year. And it set me up for expectations that didn't really match what the rest of the record was. This song has like a really smoky, hazy, almost jazzy vibe to it. Her vocals on it are stunning, switching between English and French. I kind of wish more of the record was like this. It does go a bit more in a country Americana direction. And I like the rest of the record. I think it's a very, very good record. No comment on where it landed in my end of the year list, but something about this track is just so hauntingly beautiful. The first time I heard it, I mean, I was prepared to make it my album of the year before I had finished the first track. The rest of the album didn't quite live up to that for me, but it's an amazing song. I absolutely love it. Beautiful.
I forgot to mention the oboe solo on Persephone from Alison Russell that I picked for my list. Yeah, interesting jazz, like country Americana. Well, anyway, my number one, and this one might shock you, might surprise you, might infuriate you. I'm going to go with Snail Mail and Forever Sailing. And it's just such a cool track, man. It's got like this mid-90s R&B slow burn kind of production. Like I think of like Gotta Be by Desiree or Destiny by 07, like something like that. And it's just like so cool because Lindsey Jordan has like this kind of breathy emo vocal style a little bit. Like she's very much like some of the other female artists that are kind of popular right now in the indie set or whatever. But it's just such a cool track. And then like she just busts out these like super high notes towards the end. And I don't know, there's just something about it, like crossing genres and crossing sort of all these different streams. Like even like some 80s kind of bass work and stuff on it. Like it's almost like a minor key, like Hall & Oates song or something. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I've been listening to it just nonstop lately. And just a really cool track from Snail Mail. I think it's a really good album. But this song in particular, I just really fell in love with it. So it's my winner for, what year is this? 2021?
Mine will not be very shocking. I have hyped this song up ever since I heard it. It is White Dress by Lana Del Rey. Speaking of hauntingly beautiful, the way she does like those whispery ashtray kind of high-pitched performance is just so amazing, and the production behind it is so awesome. Like you really need headphones to get every little piece of like whatever is going on. It's just got amazing atmosphere. It's probably like one of my top 200 favorite songs ever. I am in love with this song. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a really cool, reflective kind of longing for an old time. Like her songs are so much about herself, and she does it in such a way where she's telling such a vivid story. Like just down in Orlando in the music business conference, and you did this, and I was wearing a white dress, and I was a waitress, and it's so confrontational to like someone in particular, and you don't know what it is. It's awesome. It's a fantastic song off a very good album. I think we all knew that was going to be my pick.
Yeah, I was pretty assured that I would have put money on it if that was a bet in Vegas somewhere. Great song. I almost had it on my list. I don't like the way she says men in music business conference really fast. So that's all it took though to knock off my list.
All right, so there you go. Songs of the Year 2021. Excited to see where and if at all these records land in our lists. So let us know what your favorite songs of the past year have been. Drop them down in the comments. Let us know what you think of our lists. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. As always, you can follow a link in the description to our website to vote for which of our songs of the year is your favorite. And other than that, Happy New Year. We'll see you next time, and we will be known as Tastes Like Music.